Hello, my dear students, and welcome to our science class. In this unit, we're going to talk about human body systems. The body is like a wonderful machine. It is created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When it goes wrong, it often can repair itself. The more the body is used, the stronger it gets. As you can see in this picture, these are the six main systems in our bodies: skeletal system, respiratory system, muscular system, circulatory system, digestive system, and nervous system. Let's talk about structures of the body. As you know, all living things are made up of cells. Human beings, animals, plants, all living things are made up of cells. As you can see, there are many kinds of cells. Many kinds of cells. A cell is the unit of structure and function in our body. Cells are the basic building blocks of life. Basic building blocks of life. Now, these pictures are for different kinds of cells. This one here is for bone cells, blood cells. This is a nerve cells, a nerve cell, and these are muscle cells. Now, cells of the same type, of the same kind, work together to form tissue. Bone cells, for example, they work together to form bone tissue. Blood cells work together to form blood or connective tissue. Nerve cells, they work together to form nervous tissue. See, it makes sense, right? Nerve cells, nervous tissue. Muscle cells, muscle tissue. Now, different kinds of tissues, they work together in organs. Look at this picture. These are examples of internal organs like lungs, heart, liver, stomach, spleen, a brain. So, what is an organ? What are organs? Organs are body parts that do special jobs. They do special jobs. These are examples of internal organs, and of course, you can see your external organs like your eyes, ears, nose, etc. Again, cells of the same type work together to form a tissue. Tissues from different kinds or different types, they work together to form organs. Now, many organs or group of organs work together to form system or a system, like a skeletal system, like a respiratory system. Systems form human body. All systems form human body. These are the level of organization. Look at this picture here. This is a cell. The same kind of cells form a tissue. Different kinds of tissues form an organ. Group of organs form a system. This is the circulatory system. This is the heart. This is the circulatory system. Again, let's have another example. This cell here, beginning with this cell, cells of the same type form a tissue. Tissues or different kinds of tissues, they form an organ. Group of organs form a system, and all systems form the human body. Again, cell, bone cell, for example, they form bone tissue with other tissues, they form an organ like this bone here. Many bones or many organs form the skeletal system. So, levels of organization, we begin with the cell, tissue, organ, system, human body. These are the levels of organization. Now, let's move on to the skeletal system. Look at this picture. The skeletal system is made up of many bones. Your skeleton is made up of many bones. It has three main parts. Skull, ribs, and pelvis. Skull, ribs, pelvis. Here's the skull, these are the ribs, and this is the pelvis. Now, bones meet at joints. This is a joint. This is your knee joint. Your knees work like a hinge of a door. It moves up and down, up and down. Your shoulder has a wider movement. It has a wider movement. These are joints. It helps you move your bones. It helps you move your body. Now, the skeletal system function. Look at this picture. What are the functions of the skeletal system? First, it supports the body. Gives the body its shape, helps the body to move. Now, look at this picture here. This is your skull. These are your ribs, and this is your pelvis, right? Now, what is in your skull? Inside your skull, this is the brain. And here we have these internal organs, lungs and heart. Your lungs and your heart. So another function for the skeletal system, it protects the internal organs. Your skull protects your brain. Your rib cage protects your lungs and your heart. And your pelvis, it protects your reproductive parts. To the activities, label the main parts of the skeletal system on the picture below. The three main parts. This is the skull. These are ribs. And this is the pelvis. Now, to the second question. What is the function of the skeletal system? That's an easy one. It supports the body. It gives it shape. It helps us move, and it protects organs inside the body. Now, to the muscular system. Look at this picture here. We have three types of muscles. Muscle cells. Cardiac muscles, skeletal muscles, and smooth muscles. Now, the function of your muscles or your muscular system is to help you move parts of your body. So, All these muscles move parts of your body. They do this by becoming shorter and then by getting longer. Let's start with skeletal muscles. Look at the picture here. Skeletal muscles have strips, dark and light strips. They are called striated muscles. For that, they called striated muscles. Where do we find skeletal muscles? They are attached to your skeleton. They are attached to your skeleton. So we can find them on your head, on your arms, legs, toes, fingers. Look at this picture here. Your skeletal muscles contract and relax. Contract and relax. This is how they move. Now, if I asked you to move your leg or your arm, can you do that for me? Yes, of course you can. That's because you can control your skeletal muscles by thinking. They are voluntary muscles. Voluntary. That means you control them. You can control them. Now, second type, smooth muscles. Smooth muscles. Do you see any strips in smooth muscles? No, they don't have strips. They don't have any strips. Where do we find them? Smooth muscles, we can find smooth muscles in the walls of internal organs, like your blood vessels, the walls of blood vessels, respiratory tract, intestines, bladder. So, it is found in the walls of organs such as the stomach, intestines, blood vessels, and bladder. Look at the stomach here. Your smooth muscles work without thinking about them. They are involuntary. Involuntary. You can't control them. You can't control them. Last type of muscle cells, we have cardiac muscles. They have strips, as you can see. They have strips, not like the skeletal muscles, much lighter. So they do have strips. And you can find cardiac muscles only in the heart. Only in the heart. Can you control them? Absolutely not. It works without thinking about them. Cardiac muscles are involuntary. Involuntary. Involuntary muscles. Again, we have three types of muscle cells: skeletal muscles, cardiac muscles, and smooth muscles. Skeletal muscles have dark and light strips. That's why we call them striated muscles. Cardiac muscles have strips too. Smooth muscles, they don't have any strips. We can find skeletal muscles attached to the skeleton in your arms, in your legs, in your head, in your back. Cardiac muscles, we can find them only in the heart. Smooth muscles, we can find them in the walls of internal organs. Now, cardiac muscles, smooth muscles, they are involuntary. You can't control them. Skeletal muscles, they are voluntary and you can control them by thinking about it. Let's take this exercise. Complete the table below. This is a comparison between the three types of muscle cells: skeletal muscles, smooth muscles, and cardiac muscles. Have strips, yes or no? Can you control them? Also yes or no. and I need to give me examples where to find them. Let's start with the skeletal muscles. Do they have strips? Yes, of course. What about smooth muscles? No. Cardiac muscles? Yes. Now, can you control them? Skeletal muscles? Yes, they are voluntary muscles. Smooth muscles? No, they are involuntary. What about cardiac muscles? No, they are involuntary too. Now, examples where to find them. Let's begin with the skeletal muscles. They are attached to your skeleton, so you can find them in your arms, in your legs, fingers, head, and toes. What about smooth muscles? You can find them in the walls of organs such as stomach, intestines, blood vessels, and bladder. Cardiac muscles, you can find those only in the heart. That was our lesson for today. It's pretty easy. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time, inshallah.